is Kathy, and today I will be discussing Jupiter in Pisces. But before I do this, I wanted to let you know that because I have a great many videos now on many different topics, that I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. People with Jupiter in Pisces have great sensitivity and emotional depth, and they have a deep tolerance and compassion for all of life. These people can be very generous and giving without judgment or discrimination against others, knowing that all things are interconnected with no final boundaries or barriers between them. Basically, that we are all one. They have a great faith and trust of the Creator. They believe, or rather just know intuitively, that there is an all-encompassing evolutionary thrust towards complete spiritual development. Their innate faith may be very simple and innocent. They basically trust everything to work toward the best interests of everyone. Because of this, they ultimately feel that there is no reason to fear anything because it all works out the way it is supposed to work out in the end. These people have a wonderful and vivid imagination that's rich and broad, and they may use it in the areas of contemplation or meditation, visualizing and so arousing in themselves direct understanding of and identification with universal principles or archetypes. They would benefit very much from a study of symbolism, archetypes, analytical psychology, or anthropology. These drives may take them into the mystical teachings and philosophies, perhaps pursuing on occasion in retreats, ashrams, or monastery settings. These people have a great need at times for periods of complete seclusion to turn inward and explore the realms of the mind and work on returning to the cosmic origins of beginning. They prefer to hold a huge world view that can include all other views of all other encompassing spiritual, mystical, psychic universe. They may be particularly attracted by Eastern philosophies, particularly those that see all things created as illusory, or as a simple play of the divine imagination, or as a vast theatrical magic show without real substance. In this case, they have a great need to re-enter the creative void behind all manifestation. They may have a struggle between the desire to be of deep service to others in healing or spiritual teaching work and the need to pursue their own private and secluded spiritual development. When negatively expressed, the Jupiter in Pisces person may be very vulnerable and use seclusion as a means of running away from life. They can become a complete recluse, finding many ways of hiding from stresses that they fear. These escapes can take the form of pure fantasy, in total dissolution and into drinking and/or drugs. They can also spend a lot of time building camouflage personalities that deceive others and deflect the interest away from the reality of who they are. They like to use smoke screens within themselves to hide a huge feeling of loneliness, although they can quite possibly be socially gregarious in pubs and parties, where they can find at least the illusion of being wanted. Their trust is vulnerable, and it is often taken advantage of and misused by others in their great desire for acceptance. Their charity can become an indiscriminate giving with no recognition of the real needs of the situation. When spiritually inclined, these people can be taken in by show and ceremony, deceived by false teachers, and confused by vast, complex, and shaky philosophies. In their feelings that there are no boundaries, they are capable of leading a chaotic life with no final aim or purpose. Jupiter and Pisces people are naturally drawn to the theatrical and cinematic world, the fine arts world, galleries and concert halls, hospitals and healing institutions, restaurants, bars, hotels, the hospitality industry in general. church properties, monasteries, and retreat centers. They are likely to be easily deceived and imposed on by others. When negatively expressed, they may prefer to drift aimlessly without ambition rather than make a place for themselves in the world. They can also have a strong tendency towards being lazy, indecisive, moody, and quite possibly self-hating. Sometimes they can become inveterate liars who can't help exaggerating even the simplest statement. When severely negatively expressed, they may resort to fraud to live in comfort and peace. When positively expressed, Jupiter and Pisces people are blessed with the spirit of charity. They may be serious in their underlying attitudes, but a general and benevolent manner prevents them from appearing unduly ponderous or dogmatic in their expressions of their opinions. These people often have a subtle sense of humor that can be applied to the problem of presenting philosophically perplexing ideas in an easy-to-understand form. These people are innately visionary, and their capacity to see life in a broad perspective helps them to retain a light touch even when enmeshed in difficulties. Jupiter and Pisces people are generally very concerned with the metaphysical issues of life, such as death and the hereafter, but they need to find their own answers and to experience truth for themselves. These people believe deeply that real spiritual growth must imply an evolution of consciousness as well as an increase in the size and complexity of the physical organism, and that these inner and outer processes are carried forward simultaneously. Jupiter and Pisces people need to periodically escape from themselves altogether and return to nature. Music, open spaces, and beautiful scenery benefit their health more than anything else could. A sea voyage or a vacation by the water may also restore them. It's important for these people to regularly set aside times of peace and solitude for quiet contemplation or meditation. Even though they may not be outwardly affluent, the person with Jupiter and Pisces has a richly developed capacity to enjoy the pleasures that come their way. These people may be very wealthy in the eyes of the world and not realize this, or they may be poor by others' material standards and yet feel themselves very rich indeed. Either way, they ultimately put their faith in the divine order of the universe, counting themselves fortunate if they can be granted the blessing they most deeply desire, peace of mind. Jupiter and Pisces people are usually very well liked because the essence of their being goes straight to a person's heart. Other people can probably tell better stories, make more scintillating conversation, and appear more clever and intellectual, but these people have a more simple appeal, a soul appeal, if you will, that touches others deeply. They genuinely care about people, all people, and frequently suffer personally when they see them sad or in pain. These people can often touch and stir in others emotions that they didn't even realize lay within themselves. Jupiter and Pisces people need work that is not intellectual, and there isn't much doubt that they will find what they are looking for in the end. But for a long time of their lives, they are apt to go from job to job. They will never stay where they are unhappy, and they cannot endure work that involves pressure and concentrated thought. These people have a natural ability to charm and get along with employers and co-workers, but this ability will not satisfy them in the long term. They must have a function that they consider worthwhile. They want to be of use to humanity in some way. If they can grasp this powerful need within them early in life, they can save themselves and others a lot of time and aggravation. Jupiter and Pisces people often find their contentment in an artistic occupation, especially acting or dancing. This type of activity allows them to communicate directly to an audience and to feel their audience's emotional response. Without the stimulus of emotional exchange, their life is very empty. These people are not attracted to the intellectual type of person unless they can reach empathetic union with their companion. They become bored, restless, and unhappy. Jupiter and Pisces people are by nature kind, sympathetic, and unbelievably idealistic. Their love of humanity and sympathy for the downtrodden, poor, and sick is very moving. These people will work with selfless devotion to help people in prisons, sanitariums, hospitals, and things of this nature, provided they possess that tiny spark that they know lingers in nearly every human, but is sometimes obscured by worldliness and sophistication. If these people don't find this in a person, they will just quietly move on. Jupiter and Pisces people often receive public honors and recognition for their humanitarian work. Unfortunately, not all of them are able to find the correct means to serve, and suffer considerable frustration and despair as a result. These people are very sensitive, psychic, and spiritual by nature. They often have an intense dream life and are not strangers to peculiar life experiences. They are often clairvoyant and probably have had some visions at some time or another. Sometimes it is difficult for these people to tell the difference between reality and their daydreams, mainly because so many of these dreams seem to come true for them. Jupiter and Pisces people need to have a friend or lover who understands their feelings of otherworldliness and to whom they can confide their dreams and secret wishes. But before they will allow intimate relationships of this nature, the person in question must demonstrate deep love, loyalty, and understanding. These people are often more discriminating in their choice of confidence than they are in ordinary love affairs, because these people don't possess the keen body consciousness of most people. They have a tendency to ignore physical pain and even ill treatment. Jupiter and Pisces people need regular periods of seclusion. Without these quiet times, they will become irritable, depressed, and fiercely self-critical. They have a great need to commune with nature and which will restore their spirits. Music soothes or stimulates them according to their mood, while the sea and the forest can provide idyllic delights. It's important for Jupiter and Pisces people to not lose interest in worldly affairs and retreat into a personal dream world. This most often happens if they can't find a means of expressing their altruistic urges, or if they are forced to work or live in a highly competitive or disharmonious environment. I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easy to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.